Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Sports.
Yesterday, the Rays got back on the winning track thanks to two big blasts from Steven Souza Jr. and Joey Butler. Then Erasmo Ramirez took care of the rest, tossing 7 scoreless innings as the Rays shut out the O's 3-0. Today, right-hander Jake Odorizzi goes to the hill in the rubber game from Hampton Yards. It's a gorgeous day in Baltimore, Maryland for the wrap-up game of this 3-game series between the Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. And today the Rays go for a series win, splitting the first 2 games. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an afternoon of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. Dwayne Stats, great to have you looking in. Well, the Rays have this long road trip that has started here in Baltimore. Today they'll send Jake Odorizzi to the hill. In the month of May, Jake has continued to pitch very well, although he has just 1 win to show for it. Not a lot of support for it.
No, a lack of support across the board. Jake Odorizzi has the lowest run support in the major leagues for the season. No different in the month of May, because these numbers that you're about to see, they just don't jive. 5 starts, a 2.20 earned run average. You're expecting a much better record than 1-3, but that's the way it is. And I'll tell you something, you talk to Jake Odorizzi, he remains upbeat. The reason being, he knows that he's throwing the ball well. 32 2/3 innings. He's averaging 6.5 innings a start. He's not walking anybody. He's consistently pitching ahead and putting his team in a position to win.
Well, that win came in the very first start of the month against Boston. No wins since then. You see, Jake against Baltimore worked into the 7th inning, and what else is new of that outing against the Orioles, giving up no runs, 2 hits, and Chris Tillman, who's had some issues with the Rays through his career, 1-1 this year with a nifty 198 earned run average in the 2 starts against the Rays. So the Rays and the Orioles wrap up this 3-game set, and the Rays try to get out of town with a series victory. We'll be back with all the action on a sunny day in Baltimore after this. From Camden Yards in Baltimore, Rays and the Orioles about to square off. Rays dropped the first game of the series 2-1. Winning yesterday 3-0. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Rays will have Kevin Kiermaier in the leadoff spot today, followed by Joey Butler coming off his 2-for-3 day and a home run yesterday. Evan Longoria bats third. David DeJesus in the cleanup spot again. Logan Forsythe at first base. Steven Souza Jr. in right. Asdrubal Cabrera bats seventh in front of Nick Franklin, who will be at second base today. And Bobby Wilson will get a start, and he'll hit ninth.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the Baltimore Orioles is going to be their big right-hander, Chris Tillman, making his 10th start of the season. You see the season numbers there, trying to get something going here at home. He's 0-3 with an ERA of 6.98 at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, trying to turn that around here this afternoon.
The Rays start this day running second in the East, one full game behind New York. All set to play ball. Kevin Kiermaier in the batter's box, and the first pitch of this game is a called strike. First pitch presented by Pinch-A-Penny. Larry Vanover is calling the balls and strikes this afternoon. Pitch up and away, and the count is 1-1. Tillman breaking out the curveball there on the second pitch. Foul out of play. Kiermaier was not in the lineup yesterday with the left-hander Chin on the mound. He did pinch hit and snapped an 0-for-19 with a bunt base hit. And a cut and a miss. Out on strikes.
Let's go ahead and set the Baltimore defense for you. Brought to you by BMW. In the outfield left to right, we have Steve Pearce, David Lowe, and Delman Young. Across the infield third to first, Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, Ryan Flaherty, and Chris Davis, with Caleb Joseph handling the catching duties.
Here's Joey Butler, his third home run in the game yesterday. Takes a fastball in. He hit a breaking ball out to right center field.
Well, look at those numbers in the last 15 games for Joey Butler.
1-1. Here's a look at him taking the curveball and hitting it out to right.
Boy, it hangs out over the outer half, and you've got to be able to supply all the power because it is off speed and it's away from you and you're going the other way. Impressive.
Ball, 2 strikes.
Well, this is one young man who has been given an opportunity and has seized it. You saw how hot he was. That pushes his average up over 300 to go along with his 3 home runs.
Well, it would be a great story because he's waited a while to get this opportunity. A couple of short stints in the major leagues before. In fact, a former teammate at AAA Round Rock of the Rays manager Kevin Cash a few years ago. Line drive and a base hit into left. So he's aboard his first time up today. So the Rays will have a runner at first with 1 out as Evan Longoria comes to the plate for the first time in this game, and he has some great numbers against Chris Tillman. That's today's Buick big matchup, and big indeed.
Well, he just has not missed mistakes. He sees the ball well off Chris Tillman. Chris Tillman's style of pitching fits Evan Longoria's style of hitting.
Evan takes a cut at that fastball up. Strike 1.
And Chris Tillman was able to take that pitch just a little higher than he has in the past off Evan. Those are the pitches that Evan Longoria has really hurt him on. But Tillman elevated another inch or two and got it up above the swing. Got to be careful up there.
And And a pop up. Joseph, the catcher, has located it and makes the catch.
Well, I don't think that there is a more frustrating way for a hitter to go out, and you could see it all over Evan when that ball pops straight up. He's like, are you kidding me? A pop-up right behind us. The catcher's going to have room. And another elevated fastball that he just can't get on top of. And when the realization that he's going to get it, you're like, not a good feeling. I'll get a couple more shots.
Two outs. And David DeJesus hitting cleanup. Batting .328 on the year. The pitch is a strike. DeJesus 3 of 13 in his career against the tall right-hander. Last 3 starts for DeJesus out of the cleanup spot. Tillman got the fastball by him, 0-2. Runner at first is Butler. 2 outs, just underway. Pitch is wide. No ball, 2 strikes.
And you could see the reaction of Caleb Joseph. That's exactly where he wanted that pitch. They were trying to entice David DeJesus to go out after it. He doesn't, but you're still up in the count 1-2, and that pitch now sets this one up.
And that's going to be a call, 3rd strike. Dropped the breaking ball in there on him. And the Rays get a hit and leave a man. 2 strikeouts in the inning. And there's that curveball that just did catch the zone, apparently. Jesus, because Vanover's not always willing to give you that pitch up, but Caleb Joseph helped out his pitcher.
Well, watch where Caleb Joseph catches this. He knows that this curveball is borderline high, so he lets it come down as far as he can, catches it as close to the chest protector as he can to present it well, and Larry Vanover took the bait.
Yeah, he caught that, sort of short-armed the reception of that pitch.
The T-Rex.
Quick look at the starting lineup brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers: Machado, Paredes, and Young, Davis, Pierce, and Hardy, Lowe, Joseph, and Flaherty, all against Jake Odorizzi. First pitch to Manny Machado is a ball. Well, Jake starts the day 3-5, but boy, he has pitched extremely well every time out.
Oh, and Dwayne, carrying that a little further, he has 9 quality starts out of his 10, the most in the American League. Leads the American League in that stat, been consistently good.
Working here against Machado, who is 0 for 9 in his career against Jake. Two balls, 2 strikes. Line shot toward the corner. That's going to be foul.
And we talk about this all the time. You know, with Jake Odorizzi has taken the next step this year, pitching deeper into games. He's gone at least 6 innings in all 10 of his starts. And the one thing that he's done as far as pitching goes is he forces you to be aware of any pitch in any part of the strike zone, utilizes the whole strike zone. And I think that's one of those things that we talk about it a lot, but it bears repeating, because if you don't get a chance to see Jake Odorizzi pitch a lot, you will see him use the whole zone. Balls to both sides of the plate, the fastball at the top of the zone and above, the split finger changeup at the bottom of the zone and below.
And that's made him so effective because he can command the entire strike zone. Short right, and Souza Jr.'s there to take care of that one. 1 away.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense and see how it lines up this afternoon. Brought to you by BMW. In the outfield left to right, we have David DeJesus, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Asdrubal Cabrera, Nick Franklin, and Logan Forsythe, with Bobby Wilson behind the plate.
And BA, I think what we see, hitters have a difficult time zoning Odorizzi. As soon as they think, well, maybe he's going to go away, sneak that fastball in and jam in, you pop it up.
Listen, Dwayne, you're absolutely right. And you know, a lot of hitters, they've got a part of the strike zone that they're better in. You know, they like the ball in. They're up hitters. That ball down out over the plate. Jake Odorizzi knows all this stuff, and so he knows he can move that ball around the zone, and he forces you as a hitter to have to cover the whole zone. You can't look in one area off of Jake Odorizzi.
Roller picked up by Franklin out of the shift there. And Jimmy Paredes, who's been hot since coming off the disabled list, grounds out.
Now, this game is hard enough. You know, if you're going to, like, a guy pitches mostly away, he'll show you in, but you know that he's getting his outs away. I mean, you can kind of zone in out there. Jake Odorizzi does not allow you that luxury, and when you have to cover top to bottom, side to side, good luck.
Yeah, and that's why he's so much fun to watch. Not necessarily try to hit against, but he's really fun from a pitching point of view. There's a long shot off the bat of Delman Young, and that's out of here. Young jumping on the first one, hits his first home run of the year.
Well, here's what you don't account for with Jake Odorizzi. That was a cut fastball that found the heart of the plate. Not too many pitchers are good in the heart of the plate, and that's what happens here. This ball does not cut like Jake thought that it would, and it is middle, thigh high, and Delman Young does not miss.
And that's a pitch against right-handed hitters he'll use a lot. And Young probably went up there knowing that. And when he leaves it out over the plate, danger.
Yeah, that's where we talk about.
And to right center, that's going to get past Souza. And Chris Davis is in at second with a double.
Well, and just like this pitch here to Chris Davis, that's why it's about execution. You know, if he executes that cutter and throws it to where he wants it, Delman Young can swing it that all he wants. It's going to be off the end of his bat, a fly ball that probably ends the inning. Same with this split. A good one to get ahead of him. This one, a little bit further up in the zone, not as good. And Chris Young is able to scoop it out into right center field and beat Steven Souza Jr. to the wall.
You know, the other interesting thing about Delman Young, he comes into this game, no home runs this year, but 2 for 2 with a home run in his career against Odorizzi, and he happens to get a pitch on the very first pitch of the day he sees and hits it out. Now the double for Davis, and here's Steve Pearce.
Yeah, and he almost knocked down that advertisement next to the Rays bullpen. I mean, incoming. That was a shot.
Cut and a miss by Pearce. 102.7 miles per hour off the bat on the Delman Young home run. Just the third home run given up by Odorizzi, and this is 11th start.
He came in with the lowest home run rate in Major League Baseball. Something that you wouldn't think. Jake Odorizzi's not. Typically, you think of a good sinker baller that's going to have numbers like that, but
he pitches up a lot.
He does pitch up a lot and pitch up effectively. Amazing that that's just the third ball that's left the yard.
Popped up. Right side foul. Forsythe near the stands, but no play. Rizzi with a runner on second, 2 outs, and 1 run in. Two to Pearce. And again, fouled out of play. First home run Jake gave up was in the Texas series at the Trop. That's when he was ill with the flu. Beltre got him. Dozier up in Minnesota. And now Young here in Baltimore. And a cut and a miss. It takes care of Pearce. So a run home on the home run at the end of an inning. 1-0 Baltimore. Toyota. Let's go places. And by Morgan Auto Group. Make it Morgan. We make it happen. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Over the inner harbor here in Baltimore. Rays coming in to hit in the second. Here's Logan Forsythe. And the pitch is a strike call. Forsythe hitting .286 with 5 home runs. Popped into shallow right toward the line. Got a chance to fall and will. Fair ball. Forsythe heads to second and the throw. He got in there. Safe the call for Forsythe.
And you know that this is a situation Buck Showalter is going to take his time and maybe take a look at this. Well placed by Logan Forsythe. Just a little bloop down the line. A tough angle for the Oriole infielders. Flaherty gives it all he can. Can't get there. Lands fair. And then Davis with the throw. And it certainly looked like Forsythe's hands got to the bag before the tag. We'll see. Had to come a long way for that tag. And yeah, he's in there. Good call.
Showalter still waiting to get a little more word on the replay from their video, and he says forget about it. So it's a double for Logan Forsythe, his 13th, hustling his way in. Now the Rays with the potential tying run at second base. And here's Steven Souza Jr. Bunts, popping it foul. Strike one. Well, Souza hit his 9th home run of the year yesterday. Connected in the second inning here Friday. That was his 8th. A slider out to left, and then yesterday hit one out to right. Again, showing bunt. Takes the pitch inside.
Well, and that's why, with the style of pitcher that Chris Tillman is, runner on second, already in scoring position. He leads American League rookies with 9 home runs. Has been hot this series with the long ball. Swing the bat. There you go.
2-1. Well,
at least he stayed a hitter there. He was ready to go.
Down 6th in the lineup, and the Rays really need him not only to supply power but to be a run producer.
Boy, if I'm out there pitching in this situation and I see him square around like he did early, thank you.
Especially after he's hit 2 home runs in the series already.
Absolutely. I'll take that out and then take my chances with the runner at third. And that's if you even get the job done with the bunt.
The count is full. Came in with the fastball 3-1, missed by Souza. Down to third. Machado had to back up and fire the ball to first on the long flip. Souza's the first out, still at second, Forsythe.
A rare fastball down in the zone by Tillman. He typically works up.
That's why it's going to be interesting with Vanover behind the plate. I mean, we got 2 pitchers who do pitch up, but Odorizzi, more swing and miss guy up there usually.
Yeah, you're right. Both of these guys, their elevated fastballs work out very well for them. But I think that Jake Odorizzi a little bit more selective when he goes up there, as opposed to Chris Tillman, where you're going to see a lot of his fastballs are elevated. He's looking for called strikes up there. Odorizzi looking more for the swing and a miss or pop-up.
So we'll see if the advanced scouting report holds true on the veteran umpire. He is the crew chief, Larry Vanover. Pitch away, taken for ball 1. Stays wide. 2 balls and a strike. That breaking pitch, Tillman started out there and it stayed off the plate.
It's not been sharp here in the early going. Now, he did get the called strikeout, but that was not your A-plus variety curveball. That was a hanger that happened to catch the top part of the zone.
Ground ball towards short. Forsythe goes to third. Cabrera's out. Hardy to Davis.
You know, the one thing that having 4 pitches does, and that's what Chris Tillman has, you know, he's got the fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, is if one of those pitches is you're struggling with a little bit early, you've got a couple other options to try to get you through until you can get the curveball back on track.
Yeah, and it was really his catcher, Caleb Joseph, with his body language and the way he received that pitch that got him the strikeout of DeJesus in the first. Nice to have a catcher do that for you once in a while, unless he's catching against you.
And who is this hitting here for the Rays?
Nick Franklin.
It is. You know, he had the full beard. Then he trimmed it, almost didn't recognize him. Now he's taking it almost all the way down.
Nick 2 for 26, looking for his first hit of the year from the left side. And he takes the pitch up. It's 1-1. There is the previous look. That's not the guy in the batter's box,
no,
is it?
It's not. Different look, looking for different results.
And again, a pitch up and away, and there's another attempt at the curveball that just didn't do a lot for Tillman.
Well, the release point just a little bit off. He's not out in front, just a hair. And I'll tell you, the margin for error is so small, and right now he just cannot get it down in the zone.
Close pitch there, and the count goes to 3-1.
Yeah, and that's something that has really hurt Chris Tillman this year with his numbers, the ERA over 5.5. It has been the walk. You know, he's been under 3 walks per 9 for the last 3 years. This year it's up over 4.5. Too many base runners, too many bad counts.
And he just walked Franklin to put men on the corners with 2 outs.
And a lot of those misses not close. You know, he tried to, even with the 3-1 count, tried to go with the slider, tried a different breaking ball, and even that one he yanked down and in. So hopefully the Rays can take advantage of a little inconsistency here from Mr. Tillman.
Well, Bobby Wilson will be the hitter. You know, he had some back issues, nothing that really sidelined him. But earlier this month, Tillman had some back spasms that caused a certain measure of concern to the Orioles. The pitch to Bobby Wilson is too low. He falls behind Wilson.
And you know, just in everyday life, if your back is bothering you, you can't do much of anything, let alone pitch.
Pitching is back intensive. That's a strike, and the
So
count is 1-1.
Yard work and cleaning out closets and
Working from the studio.
Working from the studio will take its toll.
Yes, it will. 1-1 the count on Bobby Wilson. He fouls it off. Little bluff start by Franklin off first on that last pitch. So the Rays down by 1 have put 2 men on. Wilson with 3 runs batted in on the year. Trying to get it done with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. And a little looper into right. That's going to get it done. Base hit. Forsythe will score. Franklin goes to third. Safely in. Throw. Bounces by Machado. Now he's going to try to score. Throw to the plate. He is safe. He got under the tag. And the Rays lead 2-1. Wilson winds up at second. So the Orioles throwing the ball around a little bit there, and the Rays take advantage and take the lead.
A little bit of sloppy at the end of the play. It started with Bobby Wilson with 2 strikes against him. He's able to flip one out into right field for the base hit. That's going to give the Rays their first run, and that's when it got interesting with the Baltimore Orioles. Delmon Young is going to come up throwing. I mean, he's got a number of outfield assists this year. This team tied for the most in the American League. It's wide, and then the throw by Machado. Caleb Joseph trying to tag, reach for the tag as Franklin's in, but the hand gets there before the tag gets to the torso.
So a single and a run batted in for Bobby Wilson. And the second run scores on Delmon Young's first error of the year. And you're right, he does have 5 assists. And now Showalter comes out to talk with Larry Vanover. And I'm not sure what that was about, because he was a little late on the draw if he wanted to talk about whether they should review that call. So Wilson's at second. Kevin Kiermaier takes the first pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Here's a look at that second run coming home.
And Buck may have been out there talking to Larry Vanover about the route that Nick Franklin took in, as he really veered inside as he came down the line. And you know what this, the collision rule and all of that stuff that seems to be such a gray area, you just go out and you inquire.
Yep.
Would we have anything here? Is this even worth talking about? Because no one really knows. It's a coin flip.
It's all relative. It's a moving target. Kiermaier takes the pitch upstairs and check. 1-2. Well, the base hit. Well, Wilson dropped it into shallow right. He wound up at second as both Forsythe and Franklin scored. Again, up and away, tried the curveball again. Well, he's thrown quite a few of those.
And what ends up happening is, because it's been such an ineffective pitch, that the Rays dugout, the Rays lineup is saying, you know what, discount the curveball right now. He's not been able to throw it for a strike. It's not working for him, so we can eliminate that pitch from what we're looking for right now and start to hone in on the others. It's a good one there.
That is strike 3 call. Rays get 2 and take the lead. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay. Have a 2-1 lead. Our T-Mobile game changer. How about this breakout? For great starting pitching, and as great as those numbers are, in those 3 starts, the Rays got exactly 1 win.
That is the travesty.
Hard to do.
It is extremely hard to do. And if you want to go back the previous game, Alex Colomé in that start against the Mariners gave up a run in the first inning. So you can tack on some more innings on top of those, the last 3. It's just an amazing job by the Rays starting staff all year.
1-1 to count. And boy, this American League East certainly appears that through the first close to a third of the schedule now, it's going to be right down to the wire. And if a team can get hot enough to put together 8 or 9 wins in a row. The shot back into left off the bat of Hardy, off the wall. DeJesus will play the carom. They're going to hold him to a long single.
I think 2 things were at play there. J.J. Hardy is thinking maybe home run, and it's not tearing out of the box. And number 2, that ball was hit so hard, it got to that wall so quickly that David DeJesus, it gave him an opportunity to make a play. That's what he did. Watch him. He realizes he can't get there. He gets to the spot. It's going to bounce off. That's great outfield play.
Absolutely. Time and time again, DeJesus, whether he's hitting or in the outfield, has been such a great veteran professional. And there's another example of it right there. Low. It's a fly ball short center. Right there to grab it is Kiermaier.
What's
Showing
today?
that exuberance again.
What's today? That's right. It's church day. And that's what Kevin Kiermaier does. He comes racing in. This ball's going to be up above the head. You got the little hop. Boom. And then looking to throw. Loves to throw, too.
Well, we say excitement follows him around, or maybe he follows excitement around. I'm not sure which way that works. But he got to that one and had an idea of checking Hardy, the base runner, off first. 1 away, and here's Caleb Joseph, the catcher.
When you go back to that, you're talking about DeJesus in left field. You know, you've got to know as an outfielder on a shot like that when to give up, when to concede, and play that ball off. How many times have we seen a guy chase it too far, and then you end up chasing the baseball back towards the infield?
Yeah, and where you get that more than anything, now you're going to have great athletic ability, but experience gives you the ability to make that decision, and that's why an experienced outfielder like DeJesus will wind up making an outstanding play like that. Who knows what the final score of this game is going to be? That could be a major play in this game.
But I think too, you have to have a feel for the game. You know, have a feel, that the intangibles, the things that you can't put a number on. You just watch a guy play and you understand that he knows where to put himself. He knows how to play certain things. He knows where to throw the ball.
Lined into the stands, foul by Joseph. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
They still go back to the display that DeJesus put on at Fenway Park. You know, the monster, not an easy wall to play, and he could have put out a tutorial on how to play the wall.
One and 2 on Joseph. Fly ball, center, and Kiermaier closes to make the catch on this one. 2 gone. Well, the second baseman, Ryan Flaherty. You know, there used to be a time when maybe lights weren't as good as they are now, that hitters preferred to play in the daytime. They'd have higher averages because they could see the ball better. This guy's one of them. He's hitting .355 in day games, 250 overall.
Well, listen, roll out of bed and you go play ball. Right? I mean, this is a perfect
your
baseball setting.
time.
It is. Well, listen, that's a whole different theory. I just like to get up and get my work done. Let's get up and go do something and whatever. But yeah, Ryan Flaherty. Some guys just react differently. Some guys, they sleep in late. Maybe during night games they're getting up at 11. Well, the game's just a couple hours after that, so they got to adjust their schedule and maybe don't perform as well. But those numbers speak for themselves.
Two balls and a strike. Rizzi coming off the 7th-inning outing, a loss against Seattle. In that one, it took him 23 pitches to get the first out, which was highly unusual for him. And a cut and a miss, that squares the count at 2-2.
You know, not very often do you see Jake Odorizzi get sink, run. You know, his fastball stays pretty true. That was a good one there. You're going to throw the fastball 2-1, put a little bit of movement on it. And he was able to do that and slide it right to the outside corner to get the swing and a miss. You see Flaherty choking up now, just looking to put the ball in play.
Full count.
See, he is. He's an old school baseball player. Likes playing during the day, chokes up with 2 strikes.
We might start to see more of that. You know, we talked about the shift and the adjustments that hitters will make. The Rays shift with him up there. And he's out on strikes. Even choking up didn't help this time. Man left on, and we go to the 3rd. 2-1 Rays. Sunday, June 14th, Rays take on the White Sox. It's a Father-Daughter Day ticket package available. Purchase tickets to this special event. Receive a seat in the lower level and a Rays Father-Daughter Day item. For tickets, visit raysbaseball.com/special events. Joey Butler leads off, and that ball is going to drop for a base hit and go to the wall past Young. Butler's on his way to second with a stand-up double, and he is 2 for 2.
Well, it just continues the hot hitting. And we saw earlier in his last 15 games, 364 and climbing. And another ball hit the other way by Butler and by the Rays. Their big hits have gone to right field. They always haven't been stung very well. This is another breaking ball. That was the slider there, and that pitch hung and allowed Joey Butler to stay inside of it and get it to the wall and right. Tillman having a lot of trouble with the off speed. And that would constitute off speed also with the changeup. So the changeup, the curveball, and the slider, not been very good.
Well, that makes it tough if you're out there on the mound. Joseph blocking that pitch. The first one to Evan. 1-0 the count. Roller back at third, backhanded. Machado's throw, nonchalant toss across there, pulling Davis off the bag, but he gets the tag. Well, a nice pickup by Machado and a check on Butler, and then that throw faded a bit.
Well, this is why that never sets the feet. Look at, he's kind of throwing off one. That's a long throw, and he's got a strong arm. There's the quick look back and then just kind of a flip over there. That's something that you see from a second baseman, not from a third baseman in foul territory.
David DeJesus, Rays with another scoring opportunity. It's a pitch in. He got caught on that breaking ball that Joseph helped out with the first time around. Called out on strikes. Fastball this time to start him in off the plate. And again, that one stayed wide.
I think that the first pitch of the at-bat was kind of a warning shot. You know, they watch video. They've seen the damage that David DeJesus has done going the other way. So instead of just laying one out there out over the plate where David can take a base hit to left and maybe score a run, you stand him up, and now you start working away.
And he misses again, so it's 3-0.
Yeah, he's put himself into some pretty bad counts here in the early going. Rays on the board for 2, looking for 3. At least 3.
Ball 4. Pitch away. So the Rays put 2 men on with 1 out here in the third.
Well, that's what really has hurt Chris Tillman. And it's not just the walks. The walks have been bad. But when you're walking a lot of guys, there's a lot of other counts that you're behind in. So it's made it very, very difficult. His margin for error has been shrinking as the year goes on.
Well, a great opportunity for the Rays. Logan Forsythe doubled and scored his first time. And this one in the dirt, recovered by Joseph. He's going to go to the trailing runner at second. Safe there. And now he came off the bag and it's tagged out. And here comes Kevin Cash. So Butler moved to third, and DeJesus at second base, and Ron Copa making the call. Kevin Cash is going to go out there and talk this one over.
Well, Ron Culpa was explaining to David DeJesus that he came off the bag. You saw the initial tag, and then all of a sudden Ryan Flaherty goes back to him. And I think Kevin Cash ended up out there because with the prolonged conversation with DeJesus, didn't want his left fielder to get thrown out of a game. Not going to be able to see much of anything from here, but right there he goes with the tag. Lays the tag right on the foot of DeJesus as he goes wide. And let's see. Ooh.
Well, they're going to take a look at it.
Clear and convincing.
That's the standard.
Yeah.
And the Rays have been burned on that a few times early in the season. See if they can march back toward maybe to get that score closer to even.
I don't like the chances based on the couple of looks that we got. I don't think there was anything clear and convincing that he was on the bag. And that's the problem. A call like that close, goes against you. Tough to get it overturned.
And out the call, the original call. Butler safely in at third, and then Flaherty putting the tag on to Jesus at second. So the Rays wind up with a man at third and 2 outs, confirmed the original ruling. So a tough break for the Rays. And here's the 1-0 pitch to Forsythe. Fly ball into center, and boy, this is an opportunity you hope doesn't come back to haunt the Rays. Lowe makes the catch. The Rays lead 1, do not score, and lead 2-1. Take a look at our Toyota trends. Lowe's average run support, and that's an area where you'd prefer not to lead the league, but that's where Jake Odorizzi finds himself.
Yeah, and guess what? It's bad enough to be the lowest in Major League Baseball, not just the American League, and that's why it's been so difficult for Odorizzi to pick up wins.
First pitch, Machado sends it into right. Souza Jr. reaching up to make the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out.
But, you know, when you talk to Jake, he's unfazed by it. He understands, hey, listen, there's nothing I can do about that. I can control what I control, and that's the mound and how I get hitters out. Whatever happens outside of that is outside of my control, and I don't concern myself with it.
Yeah, and he's been so great, so consistent out there with that. Jimmy Paredes. Great shift for him. Big cut and a miss. The switch hitter has done most of his damage from the left side. Came in hitting .341 against lefties, and now he attempts to bunt and does so foul. 0-2.
And I'll tell you something, you know, that's where as a hitter you're looking for a hit. You've been on a little bit of a slide here with this Rays pitching staff. If he bunts that fair, Asdrubal Cabrera was all over that. That could have turned out well for the Rays because Asdrubal Cabrera was well positioned.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's why when you run these shifts against these guys, you keep that lagging defender close at the cut of the grass on the left side. And now with 2 strikes, you move him back. You're not worried about Paredes bunting now, so Cabrera's going to go head back out here to his normal spot.
A miss. 2 gone. 3rd strikeout for Odorizzi.
Sometimes you hang them and they get banged, and sometimes you hang them and the hitter completely fooled, overzealous, and the swing gets a little bit too big. Not exactly where you want that pitch, but the result is fantastic.
They get a little excited when a pitch is up there. And now here's a shot off the bat of Delman Young to the wall, and he's done it again. Delman Young has seen 2 pitches and has hit 2 home runs today. And the game is tied.
But that's now 4 for 4 with 3 home runs.
He's 4 for 4, 3 home runs off Odorizzi.
The first one was a cutter that didn't cut. It stayed out over the plate. I believe that this was the changeup, the split change. And Delman Young, yep, there it is. It comes out. Doesn't have the same finish as some others we've seen, and he gets enough of it.
Chris Davis takes the pitch for a ball. So on 2 swings, Young has hit 2 home runs, his first 2 of the year. One and one. I saw him in the tunnel in the first night of this series, Delman Young, outside the clubhouse, making a telephone call. Apparently it was long distance. He's done everything long distance, including 2 swings of the bat in this one.
So you're saying he's going to have a pretty high charge, the roaming charge? The kind of roaming charge that you get when you go play the Blue Jays?
Yeah, you have to take out an extra mortgage.
It's remarkable.
Pitch upstairs. 3-2.
Now, Delman Young is a solid hitter. You know, we've seen him victimize the Rays the last couple of years with the Orioles.
Davis out on strikes to retire the side. A run on the home run by Young. The score, Delman Young 2 and the Rays 2. We go to the 4th.
At 25-25 after 50 games, yet just 1 back in the AL East. Here's Evan Longoria about how bunched up things are in the division.
this point, yeah, nobody's ran away with it, obviously. So for us, that's the good thing. You know, we've had our struggles the past week and a half, 2 weeks, and we're not looking up a huge mountain to climb. So I'm going to feel like we have to get it on track here soon, or else it could get that way. But for the time being, I think it's still anybody's race, and the belief in the clubhouse is that we're still right there, and we're very capable of being this close in the end.
So Steven Souza with a leadoff double. Guys, the interesting race that is the AL East with only one team above 500.
Yeah, the Rays right on the trail of the New York Yankees. And you have a feeling that this AL East is going to be that way all year. The one thing the Rays have been able to do, despite all of the injuries, is to continue to get consistent pitching that's given them an opportunity day in and day out to win these games. They've broken even to this point. And if they could find some offense, get that side of the equation going, and continue to get this great pitching, they would have an opportunity to make a move.
Well, the one thing that I pulled out of that bit from Evan Longoria talking about this American League East, everything's bunched up, was he keeps a very clean forehead, spotless.
I was concerned at the beginning that he was no longer talking with the media, but he did come around.
He's the leader.
This is down 2-0. Just a little pause there so we could get the double by Steven Souza in. Souza Jr. leading off with a 2-base hit, his 7th of the year. So the Rays right back with a man in scoring position. Cabrera fouls it back, 2-1. You know how we've had through the years some great Rays fans, not only in Florida and around the country, but in Europe as well. And we've mentioned England and Scotland and the Netherlands and some in Germany. Got word today that Cindy Morgan Vince is watching today's game in Spain. And we welcome our viewers from Spain now. A little tapper on the bunt attempt foul, and it's a 2-2 count.
It's all part of that European push, the campaign.
Well, the commissioner wants the game to be more international, and I can't imagine that we would get any more international than that.
I would have to agree. What time is it in Spain?
It would be a night game in Spain, 6 or 7 hours ahead of where we are right now. Prime time viewing.
Yeah, right?
Foul right back into the screen. Rays with 2 runs, 5 hits. Both their runs came in the second.
Well, they've had Chris Tillman out of the stretch quite a bit in this ball game, forcing him to work hard to get his outs. He has not been sharp.
Roller to the right side. Flaherty will make the play. We'll get Souza Jr. over to third base. Well, if you're on the road traveling and want to watch the Rays, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Nick Franklin, infield pulled up. And the pitch is a strike. Franklin drew a walk and scored a run in the second inning.
Boy, infielders come up like that as a hitter. Just get the barrel to the baseball and you got a good chance of getting it through. Such limited range when you're close like that. Not to mention if you can get one up in the zone and just pop it out into the outfield. But hitter's got to be licking his chops when the infield is pulled in.
Stays alive, fouling that 0-2 pitch right back into the screen.
It'll be interesting to see if they go right back out there with the same idea. Caleb Joseph wanted that fastball up. That was not far enough up. He does get the foul ball, and so you wonder now, do you climb the ladder and try to pop that thing a couple extra inches higher?
This is wide. The pitch stayed out there again. He's thrown a lot of those, attempting to come in with a breaking ball.
And he's thrown one high-quality curveball, and that was the one to Kiermaier after we just got done talking about how that pitch you can almost discount it because he's been so inconsistent with it.
Swing and a miss. Came in with a good high fastball that time.
Sometimes the fastball up sets up the curveball. I think this time the curveball coming out of the hand helps set up this heater. Nick Franklin cannot lay off of this pitch up close to the eyes, so you see it big. Comes up empty. Missed opportunity for the Rays there.
Yeah, that might have been the highest velocity we've seen him unleash today, and that one up out of the zone at 93. And Bobby Wilson fouls it, strike one.
Well, we talked a lot about the Rays' struggles with runners in scoring position, but when you have that runner at third with less than two, you don't even need a hit.
Yep.
You just need to get the ball out in play. You got a great chance to score that run, and it doesn't happen.
Well, they're 1 for 8 already today with men in scoring position. Wilson's down 0-2. They've led off each of the last 3 innings with doubles. And they scored 2 runs in the second. One of those runs, they benefited on Young's throwing error. Ball, 2 strikes. Butler opened the third with a double. Souza has opened the fourth with a double. He's now at third, 2 gone. And Wilson is out on strikes. Rays leave a man at third. 2-2 ball game. By Grow Financial. Don't go through life. Grow through life with Grow Financial Federal Credit Union. And by Courtesy Toyota. You'll love what we do for you. Fort McHenry nearby here. a nice little walk over there. Tied 2-2. Warm afternoon here in Baltimore to root for the Rays. Steve Pearce leads off the bottom of the fourth. Pearce ended the first when Odorizzi struck him out with the split changeup. And an opening strike here in the bottom of the fourth.
Steve Pearce has just not been able to get on track and duplicate that success that he had last year with the Orioles.
Yeah, he was one of the great stories of the year. The Orioles had let him go, got him back, and he had a great year for them.
Boy, with Chris Davis, the amount of time that he missed last year, Matt Wieters, J.J. Hardy, you needed someone to step up. This was the guy.
And now he's hit by a pitch. The second man that Odorizzi has hit this year. And it puts the leadoff hitter aboard in the bottom of the fourth. Well, the Rays have had the leadoff man on in 3 of the first 4 innings. And the Orioles now in 2 of the first 4.
And this is something that Odorizzi has been outstanding at this year, is leading off an inning. He hasn't walked a guy to lead off an inning, has not hit a man to lead off an inning. If you get on against Jake Odorizzi, you earn your way on, and he was holding teams to a 171 average, a 171 on base. That's put yourself in a great position to have a clean inning. Now he's got to deal with the stretch right away.
Hardy takes the pitch for a ball. Hardy lined one off the wall in the second inning, giving him 4 for 12 in his career off Jake, with a home run in the mix. That's a strike, 1-1.
And conversely on the other side, Chris Tillman, he has the most leadoff walks to start an inning in Major League Baseball with 11. But it hasn't been the leadoff walk that's hurt him today. It's been the leadoff double. And Rays capitalized once, a couple other times, not so much.
Hopper into shallow right center. Souza's there to make the grab. That's the first out. Here's David Lowe, who's playing center field. Adam Jones not playing. He's had a sore ankle, swelling in there. Was not in the lineup yesterday nor today.
Had a little incident at home plate. I think it was in that Chicago, that doubleheader that they had. Kind of tweaked that ankle, sliding awkwardly into home plate. Finished out that game, played the first game against the Rays, and then now has had a couple of days off.
One strike to count on Lowe. Fly ball short left. De Jesus, 2 gone. So 2 outs after Pearce reached, being hit by a pitch. Caleb Joseph, the catcher, comes up. Joseph, 0 for 1. Checking in on Pearce at first. Joseph has filled in nicely with Matt Wieters gone, a cut and a miss. Joseph has given this club some offense and a good job behind the plate.
And he'll continue to get those opportunities. They're saying here that Matt Wieters is going to be coming back on June the 5th. He's going to do some DHing. So Caleb Joseph will continue to get opportunities, but you're right, he's been a heck of a fill-in.
In the center field, angling back, Kiermaier at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. A couple of steps from the wall. He began that leap, and the catch carried him into contact with the wall as he hangs on. So Joseph out of there, out number 3, tracked down by Kiermaier, and we go to the 5th in Baltimore. 2-2 tie. Ball game tied 2-2, moving into the 5th inning. Kevin Kiermaier all set to lead off, and our great moment in Braves history presented by Geico, and it was on this day last year when Kevin Kiermaier hit an inside the park home run versus the Red Sox in his first career game at historic Fenway.
Boy, that was when Jackie Bradley Jr. goes up to make that play. That ball came off the wall and hit him right in the face.
Kiermaier, a nice play to end the 4th. He leads off the 5th. The anniversary of the inside the park home run. It's all coming together.
Look at it. This is a well-oiled machine.
You know, that's why major league producers make the big bucks. They put it all together. Kevin Patterson doing a yeoman's job, major league job of running the show for us here. We just have to follow his lead, and we're golden.
Learn how to work together. The big 3.
All pop foul out of play. 1-2.
Someone's got to be someone's got to coach.
Yep.
Not easy. A lot of egos.
Yep.
A lot of demand for airtime.
Trying to blend it all together, keep people happy. I know you and I work very hard to keep our producer happy.
It's going to make our lives a whole lot easier.
It does.
Yeah.
Pop foul again. Back at 3rd. You know, when we got into his office there, big windows on the corner. Good enough to give us some time to chat with him.
Wonderful furniture.
Yeah.
And like a true CEO, his chair a little bit higher than ours.
Yep.
He's talking down to us.
But that's okay. We know our role.
Right. It's mahogany, a lot of leather-bound books in his office.
Yeah, he can put a lot of great items in there too. Inside those books. Kiermaier is out on strikes, and Joey Butler will now step in there. And the pitch is fouled right back. Butler has singled and doubled in this game. Ooh, big cut and a miss. You know, we saw a couple very good fastballs in the fourth after he gave up that leadoff double. And I think he hit the mid-90s with that fastball. He's starting to feel a little better about himself, I think. And Butler is out on strikes.
You know what, Dwayne? Or it could be my secondary pitches haven't been working very well. So I better really hump up on these heaters, because right now it's the only thing that I've got working consistently.
Well, he's certainly done that here to the last 3 or 4 hitters, and starting this inning, look at that.
Boy, it just stays true, straight, elevated, effective.
There's Evan Longoria. Comes with the fastball up. 1-0. And a strike call. 1-1. Two balls and a strike to Evan. Evan 0 for 2 today. He has some outstanding career numbers against Tillman, including 6 home runs and 3 doubles. And he's ahead in the count, 3-1.
And he's not going to give in. You know, the 2-1 right there, instead of coming in with the fastball that he has been going with, he goes to the curveball that's been very inconsistent. Now 3-1. Right to the fringes with this pitch.
Ooh, and a big cut by Longoria.
Yep, and that was a mistake pitch. They wanted that on the corner or just off to try to get Evan reaching, and he misses this pitch almost middle in.
3-2. He walks him. A 2-out pass. And Evan heads to first. That will get David DeJesus up there. He's been called out on strikes and has walked. Orioles keep the outfield spread out with DeJesus up there. Ground ball headed toward the middle. Backhanded stop. Flaherty cannot make a play on it. Longoria advances to second on the base hit by David DeJesus.
Ryan Flaherty made a bid. You know, a nice job of getting to that ball. Wasn't hit sharply. Well placed by David DeJesus, and he's able to dive backhand and had very little chance of getting Evan Longoria, who had a full head of steam towards second. That didn't even matter because he couldn't get it out of his glove.
Two men on with 2 men out for Logan Forsythe. Logan looks at strike one. Fly ball left center field. Pierce charging, can't get there. Here comes Longoria in to score. And the Rays take the lead.
You know, Dwayne, one of the things that I know we talked about coming into this ball game when you looked at the Orioles lineup was their defense in the outfield. Adam Jones not there. A couple other guys have been moved around. Delman Young, David Lowe, and Steve Pierce are not going to have the same range as the typical Oriole outfield. And this ball hung up there. No one could get there.
Forsythe driving in the go-ahead run to make it 3-2. His 22nd run batted in. Here's Steven Souza Jr. Fastball in off the plate.
Boy, and all with a 2-out walk. 2 strikeouts. Quick work of Kiermaier and Butler, and then the walk to Longoria, and here we are.
It'll be a strike. Breaking pitch in that time. It's 1-1. Souza doubled his 7th of the year to lead off the 4th inning. Blocked. Pitch down, and Joseph stayed in front of it. That base hit for Forsythe, giving the Rays their 2nd hit of the day with runners in scoring position. Now 2 for 10. Logan at first, David DeJesus at second. 2-1 to count on Steven Souza Jr. Low again. Fastball down that time, and it's 3-1.
It has been a battle all afternoon for Chris Tillman. Even when things start to look like he's coming together, having an easy inning here, it turns on a dime.
High fly ball foul, slicing toward the stands, and that'll be out of play. The Rays have been trying to put him away all day, but have had a difficult time of it before that base hit by Forsythe. 1 of 9 with men in scoring position after putting men on second base to start the last 3 innings, and in this inning they wait until 2 outs, and the walk is keyed the run in this one. 3-2 and a drive. High and deep into left center, and that one is out of here. Up into the Rays bullpen. A 3-run shot off the bat of Steven Souza Jr. And the Rays finally do break through on a long one from Souza.
Boy, that gives him 1 in each ball game of this series. Now 10, double digits on the year for Souza Jr. and another blast. No doubt. Boy, 2 outs, nobody on, and the Rays have erupted for 4 runs, 3 of them coming on that swing.
So the Rays now lead 6-2. Interrupting the relative calm in the bullpen. So it's been a big series here for Souza. And a long home run there.
And the struggles for Chris Tillman, not only this afternoon, but at home, continue. He was winless with an ERA at right about 7 coming in. Those numbers not helped at all.
103 off the bat. The home run for the Rays right fielder. There's Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera with a couple of ground ball outs, 1 to short and 1 to second. So Chaz Rowe up in the bullpen for Baltimore now. Line drive and a base hit over the head of Flaherty and into right field. And Cabrera has his first hit, and here comes Buck Showalter. So Tillman knocked out here in the 5th inning. We'll be back with a new pitcher. Rays lead 6-2. Three coming on the big blast off the bat of Steve Souza Jr. in this game and all season long. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Chipping in today on that long one off Souza's bat. Chaz Rowe in the pinch for Baltimore against Nick Franklin. Franklin fouls it the other way. Cabrera's at first, and Franklin, who walked and scored in the second, struck out in the fourth inning. That's here in the fifth. Well, this inning started with 2 strikeouts by Tillman, and the Rays have gone on to score 4.
It's one of the great things about baseball. You just never give up on an inning. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. It looks like Tillman is starting to round into form. And before you know it, he's out of the game. The Rays have blown this thing wide open.
Franklin fouls it out of play, holding the count at 2 strikes. It began on the 2-out walk to Longoria. De Jesus single. Forsythe drove in a run with a base hit, and Souza lowered the boom, hitting a 3-run home run. And strike 3 called. Franklin out on strikes. 8 men come to the plate. The Rays score 4. We go to the bottom of the 5th. With the Rays leading now. Home runs on the year, including the 3-run blast he hit in the top of the 5th, and we go to the bottom of this inning with the Rays now leading 6-2. Ryan Flaherty leads off and misses the first one, strike 1. Flaherty, then Machado and Paredes as the Orioles go back around to the top of the order.
Well, the key here is going to be, how is Jake Odorizzi going to react to 6 runs?
It's a new experience. Ground ball with the shift on, and Longoria handles that one. 1 away. Throw your boots on and enjoy the country songs of Lee Brice. After the Rays play the White Sox Saturday, June 13th, see Lee Brice, the latest featured post-game concert act and one of Nashville's hottest country stars. He'll sing hits such as I Don't Dance. For more information, visit RaysBaseball.com/concerts. Here's Manny Machado. A couple of fly balls to right for Machado today. He takes ball one too low. Foul out of play.
You know, coming into this start, the Rays had scored 16 runs for Jake Odorizzi in his 66 in the third innings. He had 6 to work with today.
Pitch is down 2-1. Pitch is high. It's 3-1. Foul ball back, headed toward the upper deck. Full count. Ground ball, and that's going to get by Franklin. Trying to go to his left, couldn't get over there in time. And Machado has his first hit of the day. In fact, that's Machado's first hit ever against Odorizzi. He's now 1 for 12 against Jake.
Well, you saw where Nick Franklin started out, and that ball hit to his left, and not able to get over to it.
Jimmy Paredes. Upstairs, Paredes has grounded to second. Struck out on a split change in the third. One on, one out. That'll be a strike. One out into the fifth for Jake Odorizzi. Cut and a miss. 1-2.
Fastball there by Jake Odorizzi. The swing by Paredes, and he's been chasing up this entire series. But the previous pitch was a split that stayed up, and the call went against Paredes. So now he feels like he's got to swing at everything. There it is.
He goes up again and misses. Paredes does. So that's the second out. That gives Paredes, who opened this series hitting .340. Paredes right now, after that strikeout, is nothing of his last 11.
And how many times
strikeouts in this game?
How many times have we seen him swing at that pitch, middle away, up?
Now Delman Young, he's seen 2 pitches and has hit 2 home runs. Bat not long enough to go after that one, even for Delman, who is, as we know, an aggressive hitter up there.
That's just Jake Odorizzi saying, I guarantee you, you're not going to do it 3 times.
Lays off this pitch away. So Jake behind him, 2-0. high. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, and where this can get interesting is that man right there lurking on deck. If you end up losing Delman Young, well.
Well, he's got to get Young sometime. And it's not going to be this time. He walked him on 4 pitches. That pushes Machado to second base. And it will get Chris Davis to the plate with 2 men on and 2 men out. Well, how about Delman Young? 4 for 4 with 3 home runs and a walk against Jake Odorizzi. He's that guy now.
A 4-pitch walk.
Yeah.
And they weren't really that close. Yeah, he's definitely crossed the threshold of that guy. And that walk showed you that.
Well, here is Chris Davis. He doubled on a split in the first, struck out in the third. And lays off the pitch up. 1 ball, no strikes. And the Baltimore fans start to attempt to seize this opportunity. Jake behind him. 2-0. Single and a walk, 2 gone, 2-0 the count. And ball 3. And when's the last time you've seen Odorizzi miss on 7 consecutive pitches?
I know it hasn't been this year, but he has done a great job of limiting walks. He only had 4 coming into this start in the month of May. That's through 5 starts.
And he picks up a strike. 3-1. Into the dirt, all the way to the backstop on ball 4. The bases are going to be loaded. Back-to-back walks. And Jim Hickey's going to head to the mound.
Just trying to calm his right-hander down. As he's coming to deliver this pitch right here. And he didn't look to slip, but there was obviously a stumble. That ball yanked into the ground. And now bases juiced.
But just like that, see the pitch count, 22 pitches here in this inning. Just like that, the Orioles suddenly going to have the potential tying run coming to the plate. And Hickey is trying to reset the moment.
Well, he's realizing too that how quickly the Rays half came together with 4 runs after 2 outs, nobody on. Just as quickly, the Baltimore Orioles now have put up a threat here, and the tying run is at the plate.
Well, Pierce was hit by a pitch his last time, hit on the forearm. Struck out his first time up there. So we've got another key moment. Ground ball, roll to the left side. Throw to first will take care of Pierce. And the Orioles will leave the bases loaded. Through 5, 6-2 Tampa Bay. hold a 6-2 lead. Delmon Young with 2 home runs today on the first 2 pitches he saw. 1 in the first and 1 in the third. And for the Rays, a couple of runs in the second inning and then a 4-run fifth. 3 coming on 1 swing of the bat from Steven Souza Jr. His 10th home run of the year. And we'll move into the 6th inning with the Rays holding a 6-2 lead. Bobby Wilson, who drove in a run in the second inning, leads it off. And this is a slider, strike 1.
When you think about how these outings for the 2 pitchers have come down, I mean, Chris Tillman, he could have been down 3-2 after 5, but a full count fastball to Steven Souza Jr., it gets crushed. And on the flip side, Jake Odorizzi with the bases loaded, and Steve Pearce, who he's not having the greatest of years, but he's been trouble for the Rays in the past. He makes a pitch to him and gets out of the inning unscathed.
We got Pearce to hit it on the ground, and Cabrera handled it to leave the bases loaded in the 5th. Now a strike, and it's a 1-2 count to Bobby Wilson. Chaz Rowe took over for Tillman with 2 outs in the 5th. We've got Franklin looking to end the inning, and now is 2-2 on the Rays catcher. Ooh, that's strike 3 call. And I'm looking at the slider.
He backed it up on him, and you got to wait for Larry Vanover. You're not quite sure. He makes sure that he gets a good look before he's going to call this. They want it down and away. It kind of hangs middle in.
Well, that's a pitch that Wilson will be trying to get for the Rays pitchers. Here's Kevin Kiermaier. Strike 1. Kiermaier had a tough time against Tillman. 3 strikeouts. Now he faces Rowe. Nothing in 2. It's a ball and 2 strikes. And Kiermaier misses that one. So he's had a difficult day. And it's the 2nd out in the 6th.
That was a really nice finishing pitch by Chaz Rowe. The breaking ball down and in. And by the time Kiermaier recognizes it and tries to hold up on the swing, it's way too late. And that's been the issue. Just the pitch recognition not there for Kiermaier right now.
Joey Butler. That's going to be fair. By the bag and up the right field line. Butler turns first on his way to second. And the throw from Delmon Young is not in time. A 2-base hit for Butler, and he is 3 for 4.
You know, we make a comment about Joey Butler using the right side of the field a couple of times, but I mean, easy, big boy. I mean, he is going over there with regularity now, and this one is right up the line. I mean, he's just does. You see it kick up chalk, just keeps it fair. Another double.
And another scoring opportunity for the Rays. This one comes with 2 outs with Evan Longoria at the plate. And the fastball does strike. Rowe pretty much fastball slider. We saw him for an inning in yesterday's game. Gave up a couple of hits and a walk, but no runs. One ball, one strike. That's Oliver Drake loosening in the bullpen. Popped up by Evan, a foul ball. That's going to be out of play. Now 1-2. Ball game in the top of the 6th inning. Longoria out on strikes. He missed the slider. Bottom of the 6th coming. Rays 6, Baltimore 2. Thursday, June 18th, an American tradition comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1 for the first time as the greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names in the history books. Our exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship live from Chambers Bay Golf Course begins June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Strike the count to J.J. Hardy. And the chopper down in front of Bobby Dickerson, the third base coach, will extend the count to 0-2. Rizzi left the bases loaded in the 5th inning when he got Pierce to end it on a ground ball to the left side. And a close pitch there, just a little bit away to Hardy. 1-2. Pop up, that might stay playable. Foul ball, and Forsythe near the stands has it. Hardy Out number one here in the 6th inning. Well, the Rays will continue this long road trip. They'll head west. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Alex Colomés after his 4th win. We'll hear from him. The rest is we'll break down Garrett Richards' strikeout to walk ratio. Richards 4-3, making the start for the Angels tomorrow. David Lowe 0 for 2. Line drive to Longoria. 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down.
Use your defense.
Well, after that 23 pitch 5th inning, a couple of quick outs in the 6th.
And look where Evan is, right at the cut, so you don't have a whole lot of time to react. More than up for the challenge.
Caleb Joseph. Pitch is a strike. Rays are going to travel on this road trip over 13,000 miles. Starts here in Baltimore, then out to Anaheim and Los Angeles, up to Seattle, and then back home.
I was talking to Westy on the way over here for the ball game today and getting the flight times. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. You got a couple movies saved up, I hope.
Headed out west, 5 hours and change. Up the right side, and that's fouled.
Going out west, it always seems to be tough on teams. It doesn't matter the quality of the opponent, just always a tough trip. The travel, the time change.
Count holds it. The ball, 2 strikes. So the Rays will take on the Angels. And then the Mariners before they get home.
So they got some paybacks for what the Mariners did to them at Tropicana Field.
Pitch up 2-2. And how about the Angels? Well, they hit 5 home runs in an inning and 2/3 of their game last night. That's a strike call on the outside corner. 1, 2, 3, go the Orioles. On to the 7th, 6-2 Rays. Flex packs now come with one of 8 great gifts of your choice, starting at just $59. Raise Flex packs allow you to choose any 3, 6, or 9 games with no blackout dates. Plus, get half off parking when using the funds loaded to your Raise card. For details, just visit RaysBaseball.com or call 888-FAN-RAYS. Oliver Drake is the new pitcher. Pitcher number 3, making his 4th appearance. Rowe pitched an inning and a third.
Pretty effectively, I might add.
Yes, he did. 4 strikeouts. He gave up 1 hit. And now the Rays will see Drake. '28-year-old right-hander. He's been in the Baltimore system since 2008. He attended the Naval Academy. First pitch swung on, and David DeJesus hits it deep, and that ball is out of here. That ball is gone. It hit the extension of the top of the groundskeeping shed out there, and that's a home run for David DeJesus, his 5th of the year. So the first pitch delivered by Drake, and DeJesus belts it out, and the Rays lead 7-2.
Well, so much for picking up release point, spin, velocity. And David DeJesus, he got a mistake and he jumped all over it.
You see the extension, the roof of that the ground crew area where they reside, and anything on top of that is gone. A home run. 7 feet out there, and the Rays tack on another run. A ball to Logan Forsythe. Might have to paint that spot out there. Two and 0. Rays getting some power from the corner outfielders today. Three and 0. Up and in, ball 4. Well, that got Steven Souza Jr. to the plate. His home run barrage started in the 2nd inning Friday when he hit a slider off Miguel Gonzalez out to left. And he belted a home run to right field yesterday and connected today in the 5th inning on a 3-2 fastball to hit a 3-run shot.
I think the home run today was the prettiest. The most impressive home run was the one off of Chen, because that was not a bad pitch. Down and away. And he shows you his strength by getting extension and taking it over that 21-foot wall out in right field.
Want to know the count on Souza Jr. And he fouls it right back.
It is 21 feet, correct?
It is. Yes.
I remember you referenced that the other day.
Yep.
21 and 7.
Went out there with our little tape measure and made sure.
It was just like Hoosiers. You know what I mean? Put Todd up on your shoulders.
That's right.
Measure it.
Todd, multi-talented, but we all know that. DeJesus is homered. Forsythe walked on 4 pitches. And the count is Souza 1-1, and Joseph and Drake with a little conversation. David DeJesus getting into the act here in this inning with his 5th home run of the year. His third home run on the road. And a cut and a miss. And Forsythe moves up. That ball in the dirt, got away, and will be ruled a wild pitch, allowing the advance of Forsythe. And that is strike three call. This is a parting question for Larry Vanover.
Speed delivery. It looked like the split. And we've seen a number of those off-speed pitches be called strikes by Larry Vanover that are up in the zone. That's not the norm.
It has not been, but turning out to be today.
You gotta be able to adjust on the fly sometimes, I guess.
It is Asdrubal Cabrera. He pulls away from a pitch. Up and in, 1-0. Cabrera singled in the fifth inning. Rays have put together 11 hits and 7 runs, 2 home runs. One. Drake, the third pitcher for the Orioles in this game. Well, he's ahead of Cabrera, 1-2. Ground ball down to first. Davis makes the play. Forsythe advances to third. So with 2 outs and a man at third, Nick Franklin will bat. Drake has spent the last couple years at the AA level. He's pitching this year at AAA Norfolk. Here is Nick Franklin. Pitch popped up. Hardy takes care of that one. The Rays get a run on the leadoff homer from David DeJesus. Another look at the long ball hit by DeJesus. And the Rays have built a 7-2 lead. Today's game summary brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. The Rays breaking this one open with a 4-run fifth, adding a run in the 7th inning. Steven Souza, David DeJesus hitting home runs for the Rays. Delman Young, the former Ray, with a couple solo shots for Baltimore. And the Rays have put together an 11-hit attack today, and supporting Jake Odorizzi with 7 runs. 93 pitches for Jake through the front 6, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits. A little different situation for Jake with some run support.
Almost half his season total. He had 16 coming in. Now it's 7. They get him 1 more. It will be. But he is settled in nicely. Once again has completed 6 innings. Now pitching into the 7th. Something that he's done now. Pitched at least 6 innings in every single start, and into the 7th in all but 1.
10 of 11. And he'll face Ryan Flaherty to start the bottom of the 7th.
Boy, this was a guy that last year averaged just over 5 1/3 innings per start.
Yeah, and a lot of pitches per inning. And coming into this game, he's averaging 14.9 pitches per inning.
Here it is. What are you going to do with it? It's been the approach, and it's been good.
Flaherty is struck out and grounded out. Fouls the first pitch out of play. Ground ball off the glove of Odorizzi, and that's going to go as a base hit. Longoria, who was on the right side on the shift, tried to reverse his field and barehanded, but could not come up with it.
Yeah, just a bad break here for the Rays because they have this defense properly. Evans going to be able to go up the middle and make that play, but once it's redirected by Odorizzi, it makes for a tougher play, a bare hand, do or die type of play, and he just can't come up with it clean.
Leadoff hitter aboard, and here's Machado taking a pitch down. Machado had a base hit in the 5th, picking up his first hit off Odorizzi. He's 1 for 12 in his career against Jake. Strike at the knees, 1-1. Steve Geltz is up in the Rays bullpen. Shot to center. Kiermaier's going to go to the wall, and that one's gone. A 1-1 pitch turned into a 2-run home run. Suddenly, it's a 3-run ball game. Three home runs surrendered by Odorizzi. He'd given up 2 home runs in 10 starts coming into this game.
Had the best home run rate in the game, and victimized twice early, and then Machado got a fastball here out over the plate. He takes it right back through the middle and out over that center field wall.
So the base hit and a home run, and that's going to be it for Odorizzi. 6 innings plus. Back in a moment. Oregon leads the U.S. women's national team against the best teams in the world in search of their 3rd World Cup title. The only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning June 6th. Jake Odorizzi out of the game after 2 hitters into the 7th with 98 pitches.
Well, 3 home runs. That's been the story here for Jake Odorizzi. He'd only given up 2 in his first 10 starts of the season, but he was victimized twice by Delman Young, and then a pitch that was just a mistake. That's a Manny Machado, and that has closed the lead down to 3, and so the Rays go to their bullpen. They're going to start off with Steve Geltz. 9 outs to get.
Geltz making his 22nd appearance. He'll face Jimmy Paredes. Geltz faced one man in the game Friday night, gave up the base hit to J.J. Hardy that ended the game. And the first pitch stays wide. That was off speed.
Off the mark.
Yep. Stayed wide. 2-0.
Not a lot going right for the Rays right here. Mislocation with the first 2 pitches. Bobby Wilson just threw the ball back to Geltz off of Paredes' bat. Had to get a new ball.
And that pitch is wide. So he misses on the first 3. Delman Young has already hit 2 home runs today. Is on deck. There's a strike. 3-1. Rays get Jake McGee up in the bullpen. The foul ball, the bat slips out of his hands and winds up over the mound at about halfway between the mound and second base.
It's not even his bat. Jimmy Paredes doing a little roving. Hey, while Matt's out on a rehab assignment, I'll help myself to one of his bats.
So the count is now full after falling behind 3-0, 3-2. And he takes it low. Paredes is on base for the first time in this game.
Jim Hickey coming out to talk to Steve Geltz. You don't want this game to start to spiral out of control. And you don't need the walk in these types of situations. And that's why you saw Steve Geltz very upset with himself and Hickey out to calm him down.
Well, Delman hit 2 home runs the first 2 swings of the day. First pitch we saw in the first, he hit it out. First pitch he saw in the third, he hit it out.
Then he took a 4-pitch walk, so strikes have been hammered and a walk.
It's Geltz against Young. He's after that first pitch, fouling it away. Strike 1. And that's the one thing about Delman. He's aggressive up there. That's why it's so unusual to have him walk on 4 pitches the way he did in the 5th. He wants to swing the bat. Fouls this one to make it 0-2.
He's one of the hitters that has that thought process, so much like Adam Jones. When I go to the plate, I'm carrying this thing up there, not just to show you. I'm up there to use it, to club something. Elevate the heater.
Ooh, he fouls it. He's dangerous.
Well, and that is the example of the Rays are so good with the elevated fastball, but it's a dangerous pitch because you got to get it up there. They want this up. Bobby Wilson wants it up. That is not up.
And this time Young stays alive with that late swing and a foul ball.
Boy, you talk about strong wrists. How in the world do you foul that off? A late decision by Delman Young, and he's able to flick it foul and stay alive. I keep going back to that heater up.
And a high fly ball deep to center. Kiermaier's going to have room this time, and he makes the catch. Well, Young gave it another ride, but a little short. And that's the first out of the inning. How about that? Young sending Kiermaier to the warning track. So one away. Kevin Cash out to make another change with Davis 2 up. For more information on to find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. Buy Checkers. Get Checkers authentic Philly cheesesteak or try the new meatball sub. Pick yours, 2 for $5. And buy your Gulf Coast Honda dealer. Beautiful aerial coverage today provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECT-TV. Jake McGee, the new pitcher, making his 6th appearance. On with a runner at first, and Chris Davis due up, 1 out of the inning.
Well, the Rays going with a little bit different thought process here. You know, the last time Chris Davis came to the plate in a situation where they're going to make a move, they brought in the left-hander Xavier Cedeno. Davis was able to line one into right field for a base hit. That was game 1 of this series that they ended up winning on the J.J. Hardy hit. This time they're going with the fireballer. And the big fastball here of Jake McGee.
3 for 10 with the home run against Jake, but a high strikeout total.
You just got to get it started early and let it go quick.
The cut, the miss, strike one.
That's going to be a quick AB, one way or the other.
Foul back, 0-2. How about Chris Davis and his lefty-righty breakout this year?
Plus 100, 105 points higher against lefties. Jake McGee, a little bit different type of lefty.
One ball, two strikes. Bottom of the seventh. It's Paredes, the runner at first. And the cut, the miss. And that takes care of Chris Davis.
Nothing fancy, just what we expected, power on power, and who would prevail? That'll be the Rays lefty. Stays away at 96.
Here's Steve Pearce. Pearce 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the fourth inning. Foul back, strike one. Seven, 11-0 for the Rays, 4-6-1 for Baltimore. Cruz fouls it out of play. No balls, two strikes. Well, how about Odorizzi? He had given up 2 home runs in over 66 innings coming into play today. 3 home runs in 6 innings plus in this game. 2 by Young, 1 by Machado. Two to Pierce. Ground ball third. Longoria down to second for the force. 2-run score, and that's it. A man left. On to the 8th. 7-4 Rays. Tomorrow night on Sun Sports. Our coverage begins at 9:30 Eastern when the Rays open their series against the Los Angeles Angels. And Alex Colomé, 3-1 on the year, will make his first ever appearance against the Angels. Garrett Richards will start for Anaheim. Archer and Carnes to follow Colomé in that series against the Angels. C.J. Wilson and then Hector Santiago will pitch Game 3 on Wednesday night. Bobby Wilson will open the 8th inning. Oliver Drake delivers, and the first pitch drops in there for a strike. DeJesus homered off Drake in the 7th. One and one. An RBI in this game for Bobby Wilson. Down the left side, deep but well foul. That puts him behind 1 and 2. Rays, after their 4th win in the season series against Baltimore, coming in 3-5 versus the Orioles. 2 and 2 now. Rays started the day in 2nd place in the American League East, a game back of New York. And Baltimore running 3rd, 2 games back. Now 3 and 2 here to Bobby Wilson. Kevin Kiermaier's on deck. And Wilson out on strikes. Today's high def highlight presented by H.H. Gregg. Handy defensive work by Kevin Kiermaier on this one. Going back to the track to haul it in center field. Jake Odorizzi showing his appreciation back in the 4th inning. Now there's a shot up the right side by Kiermaier. He's headed for 2 and will make it easily with a double. So he was 0 for 4 today, and that'll snap that thing. 4 strikeouts ahead of the double, his 9th of the year.
Well, nice that he got an opportunity to come up again and he cashes in, because that a tough day so far offensively. You'd hate for it to end with just those 4 at-bats and have that at the forefront of your mind and a long plane trip after the game, but takes advantage of a first pitch mistake and gets himself into scoring position.
The Rays have 4 doubles and 3 home runs today. I guess that would be 2 home runs, one of them a 3-run homer. Joey Butler, who has 3 hits, he's 3 for 4. 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball, that's going to go through the left side. Kiermaier will advance to 3rd and stop there. Waiting to see if that ball was going to get through the left side or not. And Butler has a 4-hit day.
Now hits it hard enough to squeeze it through the hole between short and 3rd. And boy, Butler just continues to swing a hot bat.
13 hits for the Rays. And Butler a career day with his 4 hits, 2 doubles, and 2 singles. Dave Wallace a quick visit with Oliver Drake. Brock has been up for a while. The right-hander. And Evan Longoria now with a chance to extend the lead, and boy, the Rays would like to do that the way this game has been. Foul ball for a strike. Evan walked and scored in the 5th. He was driven home by Forsythe. Five two-base hits by the Rays, with Kiermaier picking up the 5th here in the 8th. He's now at 3rd. With Butler at 1st. To the count on Evan Longoria.
Well, this would be a nice answer too. You know, after the home run by the Orioles gets this game back to just a 3-run game with a couple innings to go, you can expand that lead again, send the message of we're not going away, we're going to continue to tack on.
Yeah, you'd rather pull away than go away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down at 3rd base, Kevin Kiermaier. It's Joey Butler at 1st with his 4th hit.
And be leery of the split here. It's been set up perfectly.
Taken for a ball, a pitch down and away. Rays have had 3 leadoff doubles in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. Butler had a 2-out double in the 6th and the 1-out double by Kiermaier in the 8th. 1st and 3rd, and a high fly ball left center field. Pierce sets up to make the catch. Kiermaier tags, and the Rays are going to get a run on this fly ball. So the Rays get one of those runs back to make it 8-4.
And a really nice job by Evan Longoria. I think that he was sensing the same thing that we were talking about the split coming after the fastballs. Oliver Drake really loves that split finger, and he went to it there. And Evan, it was actually a pretty good pitch, but Evan was able to get underneath it, get the carry, get it to the outfield, get the run in. That was nice job by Evan.
And David DeJesus, who saw the first pitch Drake delivered today and hit it out. He takes that pitch for a strike. Eight runs, 13 hits. One and one. Tillman gave up 6 runs in 4 2/3. Rowe, no runs in an inning and a third, and now a couple runs off Drake. Ball, 2 strikes. Oh, just foul. How about that? The left side open, with the exception of Machado.
And the only guy that had a play on this was Vic Carapazza. A couple of feet foul.
Two outs. Butler at first. Count still 1-2. On DeJesus. Two balls and 2 strikes. Liner into right. Young is there to make the catch. And the Rays settle for a run in the 8th. Now they lead 8-4.
Post-game show presented by Checkers. We will have Rich Hollenberg and Doug Wechter in studio. We'll check in with Orestes Estrada at the watch party at the Guy Harvey Outpost at the Tradewiz Island Resort. We'll have interviews from the Rays clubhouse, including the manager Kevin Cash, hopefully after taking 2 out of 3 against these Baltimore Orioles. All that coming up on Rays Live presented by Checkers, guys.
And, of course, Todd, in that direction, the Rays adding a run in the 8th to make it a 4-run ball game. It's now 8-4. And with that development, as we go to the bottom of the 8th, Kevin Cash will go with Ernesto Frieri here. And J.J. Hardy's going to be the first man to face Frieri.
Been used 21 times now, 21 in the 3rd innings, 19 strikeouts, and a 4-run lead to work with.
The walk total a little higher than he would like, and here's Hardy taking the first pitch for a strike.
This is one of those opportunities you're presented with. Meaningful innings. Want to win this game, win this series, get the road trip started out right, but you got to avoid that walk. You're right, Dwayne. You're going to be a back end of the bullpen type of guy.
1-1 to count. Hardy's 1 for 3, had a 2nd inning single off the wall in left. He starts but checks. 2-1. Frieri last pitched an inning and 2/3 on Tuesday at Tropicana Field in the series against Seattle. There's a pop-up foul. Robbie Wilson will chase it and not have room. Robbie Wilson all the way back to the screen. It's now a 2-2 count. Fair ball back a 3rd. Longoria's throw is there in time. 1 away in the 8th. So they get the leadoff man. David Lowe will step in. Lowe 0 for 3. And the bunt, foul ball. Kicked in foul territory by Longoria. Jake Odorizzi worked 6 innings plus 2 men in the 7th. Geltz a third of an inning. McGee got the last 2 outs in the 7th, and Frieri has registered the first out in the 8th. And a strike on the outside corner runs the count to 0-2 on low. See another 0-2 pitch with that one fouled out of play. And the Rays starting the day a game back of New York. The Yankees are out west in Oakland. And that's no score. They're just underway in the bottom of the first in that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boston and Texas tied 2-2. Bottom of the 4th. Another foul ball. And the Blue Jays and the Twins are in the bottom of the 7th, tied 4-4. All of that and other games involving AL East teams. Here the Rays lead the Orioles 8-4. Ground ball right side for Franklin. So 2 ground ball outs here in the 8th. 2 up, 2 down.
Doing a nice job of throwing strikes, attacking the hitters, using your defense. Exactly what the Rays were hoping for with Frieri. They look to close this series out with a win.
Now Caleb Joseph, the catcher, to face Ernesto Frieri. Pitch is a strike. It's Brian Mattis down in the bullpen for Baltimore. Lined toward the corner and foul. Strike 2. Well, the Rays and the Orioles this afternoon at Baltimore, playing before a crowd of just under 37,000. 36,945. Had a sellout here Friday night at 45,000 plus. 38,000 plus last night and just under 37 today. Base hit through the hole on the left side on an 0-2 pitch. Joseph has his first hit of the game.
A breaking ball there by Frieri that just kind of rolled into the zone. It's similar to the previous pitch, but this time Caleb Joseph is able to sit back and wait on it a little bit before he hammers it into the hole. This pitch is just not doing a whole lot right there.
Ryan Flaherty opened the 7th inning with a base hit and scored on Machado's home run. Takes a strike at the knees with 2 outs and a man at first in the 8th.
And you want to get Flaherty. Manny Machado waiting on deck. He homered to center field his last time up.
Cut and a miss. 0-2 fastball from Frieri. There's Machado.
Just never feel comfortable in this ballpark. As we've seen this series, the ball flying here.
Upstairs, 1-2.
A true bloop and a blast type of park.
Jepson up in the bullpen. Fly ball into left. DeJesus makes the call and the catch. to retire the Orioles in the 8th. They leave a man, and we go to the 9th with the Rays leading 8-4. Reminder, enter now for a chance to win a trip to the MLB All-Star Game on Fox for you and 3 of your friends. Upload 2 photos at foxsports.com/fantasticallstar now through June 3rd. Brian Mattis becomes the 4th pitcher of the game, making his 17th appearance for the Orioles. Replaces Oliver Drake, who gave up 2 runs in 2 innings. One coming on the home run by David DeJesus. So it's Mattis facing Logan Forsythe to open the 9th. And the pitch is a strike. Mattis handed a suspension for a foreign substance that was found on his right forearm. An 8-game suspension handed down, and that hearing is scheduled for Wednesday. 1-1 to count on Forsythe.
He was the second guy to get popped in the same week. Kind of had it out in the open. Be a little bit more discreet.
That's a foul ball, and it's 1-2. I think his initial line of defense is that it was just sunscreen. He didn't want to get a sunburn.
Yeah, I knew it involved a couple of very interesting ingredients, but he was only concerned apparently with a small area on his right wrist.
We have a cut and a miss. Forsythe is out on strikes. One out in the 9th. It's 14 strikeouts for Baltimore pitching. That's a fair ball off the bat of Sousa Jr. He's going to head for second. Pierce will play the carom, and the second double of the day for Sousa puts him in scoring position. 2 doubles and a 3-run home run for Steven Sousa Jr.
Well, you can see what the Rays' slugging percentage is for this ball game, because there's been a lot of extra base hits. Another one here. down and away, reaches out, gets around it, keeps it fair. And Souza Jr., how about the series he's had?
Well, the Rays have had 6 doubles in this game and a couple home runs. Jubal Cabrera will bat right-handed against Mattis. Foul ball. Cabrera hit by the pitch, so he'll head to first base. The Rays get 2 men aboard with 1 out in the 9th inning.
Well, coming up and in.
Nick Franklin now is going to be due up, but the Rays are going to go to a pinch hitter after Cabrera was hit by that pitch. It'll be Jake Elmore to hit for Franklin. Rays trying to add to this 4-run lead. First pitch is a strike.
Well, the Rays just not content to play this one out, and given this opportunity, Kevin Cash still down there managing, matching up.
The Rays have had base runners on in every inning and men in scoring position in the last 8 innings. Elmore fouls it out of play. 0-2. Xavier Cedeno now up in the bullpen. Popped up, foul ball, and Joseph is after it. He's going to have a play. Elmore fouls out to Caleb Joseph. And Brandon Geyer will pinch hit for Bobby Wilson. So the Rays serious about trying to add to this lead. And Geyer will hit for Wilson.
And Kevin Cash not taking any time off. I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about this ballpark. And you just never feel safe with the lead here. A lot of home runs have been hit in this series. The ball's carried well. And so you play for every last run.
Geyer takes a pitch too low. Geyer and Mattis. And a base hit into right field. They're going to wave Souza Jr. to the plate. He will score. Now a throw to third. And they're going to get the runner Cabrera caught in a rundown between second and third. He'll be tagged out, but the Rays get an extra run as Souza scores on Geyer's pinch hit single. And the Rays come up with their 9th run. Will lead 9-4. Tacking on a run in the top of the ninth on the pinch hit single by Geyer. That scored Souza before Cabrera was caught in the rundown for the final out. And Xavier Cedeno will come on to work the ninth inning. He is pitcher number 5 for the Rays.
16th appearance, 9 innings, an ERA of 1. Looking to protect this 5-run lead. I'll tell you, that Rays offense today has just kept the pressure on Baltimore pitching all afternoon.
Rene Rivera takes over behind the plate for the Rays, and Jake Elmore will take over at second. And Xavier Cedeno up here to face Manny Machado. Jimmy Paredes will be next, and then Delman Young. Machado hits a high fly back toward the corner and right. Souza watches this one, and that ball is out of here. Up over the scoreboard, and it's 9-5. Well, that's why the Rays are trying to get an extra run or two in the top of the inning.
It can happen that quickly. You've got a powerful Orioles lineup. These guys may not all be kind of having the kind of years you expect them to, but they're capable, and the ball has been flying out of here this series. Another one right there.
Kevin Cass talking with Larry Vanover about exactly where that ball landed. And they're going to take a look. So they'll take a look just to make sure.
Well, you've got nothing to lose. You know, it bounded back onto the field, hitting an area up there not always easy to see.
And that didn't take long under the umpire review, and it's a home run.
Before Tom Foley could even explain to Evan Longoria what the Rays' argument was, it was already overturned. It was like, no, that ball's a home run.
So one pitch in, and the Orioles have a run to make it 9-5. Jimmy Paredes. Paredes 0 for 3 with a walk, batting right-handed this time, and there's a strike call by Larry Vanover. Cut and a miss. So both Machado and Young have multi-home run games this afternoon. Little tapper, shortstop. Cabrera's got it. Go to first. Just got it. Ball not hit overly hard. Cabrera had to come in for it and unload the throw. And Paredes is out at first.
Let's take a look at just see how close this was. Here comes Cabrera. Paredes out of the box, good. Boy, that is really close.
You can see how close right there.
I
wow.
mean, an inch or two off the bag. They got it right.
Toby Bassner on the call down there. Here's Delman Young. Pitch to Young is high. Young hit home runs on back-to-back pitches in the first and third innings off of Jake Odorizzi. Walked on 4 pitches in the 5th. And then on an 0-2 count, hit the ball to the warning track in center field in the 7th. 1-1 the count to him here in the 9th. Big cut and a miss, now 1-2. So all of the runs, as you see Brad Boxberger standing in the bullpen now for the Rays, all of the Baltimore runs a direct result of home runs. Just a piece of that one, a foul ball. It's still 1-2 on Young. Machado hit a 2-run homer in the 7th and a solo homer in the 9th. Young solo home runs in the 1st and 3rd. Ground ball, that's going to go up the middle. Young is on for the 4th time. And Chris Davis will be the hitter, and Jim Hickey's going to head to the mound.
Well, Delman Young had seen a steady diet of pitches away from him. And he's able there with 2 strikes to get some extension, use the middle of the field. Jim Hickey trying to get out in front of this.
Well, Davis faced Cedeno here Friday night and promptly lined a single into right.
You start to think about the swing of Chris Davis. He's a low ball hitter. He likes to get the arms extended. Xavier Cedeno's got that breaking ball that sweeps. He's hit left-handers this year better than right-handers by over 100 points.
Got a double off Odorizzi in the 1st. Pitch away. A ball, no strikes. One is down. Well, the Rays with a little wiggle room, but it can still be uncomfortable here in this park with this lineup. And Cedeno is behind Davis 3-0. Steve Pearce is the on-deck man. And ball 4. 2 men on now with 1 out. And here comes Kevin Cash. Well, the Rays trying to stay away from Boxberger, but he's going to be in this game. Sixth Rays pitcher as they try to nail this one down, making his 22nd appearance.
Well, he's been perfect in the save department, 28 strikeouts in 19 and a third innings, and coming off the couple of rough outings that he had earlier in the week, and then able to come in and pick up the save in yesterday's game and do it in a tidy fashion. Well, that's going to serve him well with his confidence as he comes into an interesting situation here. 2 runners aboard, you're up by 4, but as we've seen here today, Baltimore Orioles capable of hitting long ball.
And Travis Snyder will pinch hit for Steve Pearce. So Snyder will take his left-handed bat to the plate. Boxberger faced him last night, late yesterday afternoon or early evening, take your pick, and got him on a ground ball to first. So Snyder with Davis at first and Young at second, 1 out in a 9-5 game. And a ground ball right side. Elmore comes up with it and makes the throw to first. The runners advance to second and third. So they get the ground ball. And the Rays get out number 2 in the bottom of the 9th.
On a nifty little play here by Jake Elmore. If he's not able to range to his left and make this play, now you're looking at tying run coming to the plate with just 1 out. But he's able to go out into the outfield grass, spin and throw.
The hitter is J.J. Hardy. And the pitch is a strike. Hardy singled back in the second on a liner off the wall. He's 1 for 4. And this one rolls away from Rivera, but no chance for a move down the line from Young.
And what was the call by Larry Vanover? Because that looked like a really good pitch. And I'm going to say that was a ball.
They posted a ball. And I didn't see the right arm go up.
Okay.
What a pitch. That's a
right
great
there.
Pitch.
I don't know how you don't catch it. However, it is a strike. Same pitch.
There's a strike. He caught it this time.
Well, I guess that's what the difference maker is.
One, 2. That's away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A run home with 2 men in scoring position as the Rays try to close this one out. Foul ball, and that catches Rivera. He's stunned a little bit. No sooner does he enter the game than he takes one of those off the hand.
Boy, mask to hand. So much for a day off. Jeez. And he's been beat up this series. You talked about it yesterday. The bat a couple of times to the helmet.
Yep. Trying to straighten those fingers out to give a sign.
Got to make sure you get it right.
2-2. And a foul right back over the screen.
Brad Boxberger out there looking in. He's like, he's actually putting a number 2 down.
Try the 2-2 pitch again. And he got him. Is he going to call that or not? I guess he says it hit the ground first. Just a little piece of that one. Rivera came up with it, but apparently it's a foul ball that hit the ground. Oh my.
I mean, that's as close as you can get on that call.
Yeah. You're the umpire, you just make a call and stick with it. 2-2 again. And just a little piece of that one. How close has he come? He had the pitch that was a strike that was called a ball because Rivera couldn't catch it. And then a couple near misses here. Wow. How many times do you have to get one hitter?
One more.
Well, Rivera is going to have a chat. This turned out to be at least a 9-pitch at bat, with the 9th pitch about to be made. Well, we'll be with you a little later tomorrow. The Rays and the Angels from Anaheim. Alex Colomé making that start for the Rays. Garrett Richards on the mound for the Angels. Pitch again is ball 3, and the count goes full. Second and third. David Lowe is on deck. And the 3-2. Fly ball center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Rays take 2 out of 3. Winners today. It's a 9-5 final. 25 hits in this game between these two clubs. And the Rays come away with a 9-5 victory. Took 3 hours and 24 minutes to play this game as Brad Boxberger picks up his 15th save. A victory for Jake Odorizzi. He is 4-5, and the Rays now a game over 500, a half game back of the New York Yankees. Yankees playing out west against Oakland, scoreless at the end of 3 in their game. So the Rays climb to within a half game of first place. Odorizzi